Welcome for all in the second lecture of energy management. In this lecture, we will learn about energy management system, PDCA cycle, example about energy management systems, energy management system according to the ISO, and we will explain the energy policy and energy policy according to the ISO 50001 standards and example about energy policy. So the term of energy management system means energy management system is a framework for energy consumers. Energy consumers, of course, include all appliances, equipment, devices that consume energy. And industrial, commercial, transportation fleet, and government agencies, public sector, private sector organization. In order to manage the energy using in these organization or facilities. So, what we need, we must identify the opportunities in order to adopt and improve our energy savings technologies. Is this free or fee? Of course, no. It's need a fund, but sometimes not necessarily require high capital investment. So, in order to implement energy management system, this topic or this approach need specialized expertise personnel and need staff training of the facility or the factory or the organizations. Okay. Now let us explain more about the energy management system. If we are looking carefully about this scheme, we see that energy management policy, okay, and represent the first stage of energy management system, and we will explain it in the next slide. Okay. If we are looking about this scheme, we see that the approach, plan, do, check, actions, and we see this cycle is continuously, not interrupted, continuously, starting from plan, then doing, then checking, then taking an action. So we'll explain every step of the cycle. And energy policy, energy management policy, what would include? The commitment from the top management. This is very, very, very important issue. Without the commitment from the top management of the facility or organization, there will never can reach or implement energy management system. And smart policy. The policy must be smart way, and setting and sharing common goals. So, commitment in a smart way, commitment to the top management for the energy policy, and a smart policy in a smart way, and in this policy we must put or setting our goals of the organization. Now we will go to the next step of organizing all the actions in the planning stage, and we will explain more about this issue in the next slide. Then we must do, what will we do? Do in this in this step of cycle or PDCA cycle, we are putting our planning and implementation. What will include management implementation, energy editing, which represent energy editing we will explain, and I have too much lectures about energy editing. Energy editing represents the first stage of energy management system, of course. After that, set baselines for measuring results, designation and responsibilities in the organization, procedures and standards for the training. All this we must implement in the do of the cycle. Do which is the second step of the PDCA cycle. And then after implementation we must check or evaluation. In the evaluation stage we must measure and verify and monitoring. We must measure all what we are doing, and must do our verification and monitoring all the opportunities that we are fixing in the implementation stage. Then we must make our actions for what we are planned and implement and check. We must here in this stage of PDCA cycle, in the action stage, we must review our continual improvements, continuity improvement, not make a stage and let the other without a continual improvement. In this stage of PDCA cycle, we must do a management review to confirm the plan and time frame suitability and adequacy and effectiveness. Review targets. Here we put targets. We'll review the targets, communicate the progress and actions to be taken. What the actions that we need to take for the continuity of energy continuity and the effectiveness of energy management system, and reporting and presenting the results. So these actions will compare all our targets that we are putting, or targets or goals we are putting in the energy management policy. And I will explain more in the next. As we see, energy management system, according to the International Standardization Organization 50001, based on the approach of plan, do, check, act, or PDCA cycle, sometimes called naming cycle for improvement, the framework of energy management system, and incorporates energy management into existing organizational practice. Okay. Now, let us more explanation about the PDCA cycle. As we say, in the plan, do, check, act. In the plan stage, the organization and all personnels in the organization must understand what they need, their requirement, and get management commitment, as we say, set the energy and the resiliency goals, as I said before. Of course, this is more explanation because this is very, very important issue. And in the plan, we must put the structure of energy team. We must establish the energy team. In the do stage, know where you will use the most energy what's the most consumers, and know where you are most vulnerable. Okay. Also, identify the biggest energy user and make a list of energy opportunities. In the check stage, you must use the benchmark energy use, and this we'll talk about later, and find the variable impacting energy use, because we know that the energy using not fixed, it will be always variable. Sometimes we need more energy according to the nature of the organization or facility. As example, in factory or any facility that consume energy, and sometimes down the level of energy consumption. So we must put all the variables that effects of on energy use, and then assess the energy billing. Energy billing is very important in this issue on the procurement, and also we take into our account the proper operation and maintenance of the equipment in the specified organization. In the active stage, we must energy upgrading and review energy data and conduct internal audits by the organization or from external editors or internal editors, and meet reporting requirements. So we see that we have a continuous improvement starting from plan, do, check, act, and reach to the what we are planned in our organization. Okay. Please don't boring my too long explanation about PDCA cycle or PDCA approach, because it represents the core of energy management system. Okay. In the plant stage of PDCA cycle, as we said, and we will add some more terms in this in each stage of this plan. In the plan, the organization model must understand their existing practices. Okay, then go and establish energy policy and energy management team, and put their actions in order to address all the risks and opportunities, and they make a conduct energy review for their present case in order to identify what is the significant energy uses for equipment, for devices, what they have in their organization, and in order to establish energy baseline or baselines, EnMS. We will explain this term in the next lecture. And in order to establish energy performance, also we will explain it later. Establish energy performance indicators, very important term. In order to identify the objectives, targets, and put their action plans according what they put in their energy policy. Okay? Now, the next do. In do stage of PDCA cycle, as we said before, they must implement their actions plan and implement operationals of their equipment, devices, and also put or implement maintenance controls, implement communications, and ensure competence, and consider energy performance in their design and what will procure in the future or even in the present case. So all these will be in the do stage of PDCA cycle. Now what we must check? We must monitor our energy performance, measure energy performance, analyze according to the data our energy performance, and evaluate it, and do editing, energy editing. As we say, we explain, this is need too much lectures about the energy editing, and conduct management review. The organization must review what they want to conduct in their management, and conduct management review of all energy management system and its content. Okay. In action stage, the organization must take the actions in order to address all non-conformities. As example, sometimes when you are putting a plan, you cannot implement what you are planning as 100%. Sometimes there are some difficulties, some other needs. So, in order to remedy for what you feel, whatever you cannot achieve as a 100%, you can review and take the actions in order to improve in continuous form. So, in the act stage, we need a continuous improvement of the energy performance and continuous improvement for the entire energy management system. Okay. Let us see this example from Hitachi company about the energy management system. Hitachi was adapting renewable energy according to local generation and local consumption for decentralized system configuration model, their model. The supply of power include thermal, solar, and wind energy, and the demand for consuming parts represent homes, factories, offices, and electrical vehicle charging stations. And also they included storage for electricity and thermal energy, and the controlling of all of this model according to the coordinating with grid stabilizing control, generation control, and demand system modeling and power supply control. This model, as we see in this figure, this is the system stabilization control, and this is energy management supply, and we see this is the storage and the demand side, generation side, of course, thermal, electrical generation, wind, photovoltaic stations, and these are the consumers, factories, offices, household, electrical vehicles, and energy storage batteries. As we see, and this is the control, which represent the power generation control for control or the model of decentralized system. So they make a complete energy management system. Look at this, the second figure. I also put some explanation of some terms. You can see DSM, demand side management. This is a present demand side management, and EnMS, energy management system. As we see, we see this is the complete energy management system. Need fund, need expertise personnel and training and putting their targets and implementation what they are need. This example reflects big effort. This means big efforts in order to implement, control, distribute, understanding the content of the system. So, energy management system very, very important in order to reduce energy consumption and controlling and continuous improvement of energy performance of the organization or the facility or the factory. Okay, now let us talk about energy management system according to International Standardization Organization 50001. Energy management system according to the ISO based on principle of energy policies, managing energy consumptions and improvement by evaluating the performance of energy management system. As I said in the first lecture, for specified organization that we want to apply energy management, the organization must understand their energy use and their planning and organizing and their implementation or what they are planning and verification and monitoring, reporting their energy management system and their commitment. If the organization do all these processes, it's easy to transmit to energy management system according to the ISO, which involves, of course, development and implementation, energy policy, and putting achievable targets for their energy use, and designing action plans and measure progress by using new energy efficient technologies and reducing energy waste and improving the current processes in order to cut the energy costs. Also, it includes efficient use of resources and protecting environment and also improving energy performance. Then we will talk about the what's the energy management system according to the ISO 50001 included in short term in order to make the most efficient use of energy, as we say, by implementing energy policy, energy goals, identify the personnel involved in implementation, and they are must be understanding their roles, their tasks for each one of them, and implementation, energy performance monitoring system, and the procedures for continuous improvement for energy performance. These included all energy management system according to the ISO. Okay, and also we can see the documents of energy management system, which include the requirements with the guidance for use. I will make you see this document. Just now we are in the website of ISO. We see that the ISO 50001, and this is the forward. It's contained too much explanation, introduction, We see that the PDCA cycle represents the core of energy management system, of course, as I said before, and you can see some definitions for different terms: policy, energy management, requirement, monitoring, as we see in this document. In similarity, I can summarize that the ISO 50001 represent as a framework for all sizes of organization for different sectors in order to establish the best practices of energy management. It includes energy management system requirement and guidance for use, and this can help the organization in different sizes in order to manage, monitor, and maintain their energy performance by controlling the energy consumption and enhancing the operational plan in order to improve their energy efficiency. You can find it and you can print it and read it as separately. And this also applies for all types of the ISO family documents. It's easy to find it on the website of ISO organization. Okay, now we will return to our in order to continue our lecture. Now let us explain the energy policy. As we see in this figure, that energy policy aims to limit cost of energy, secure energy supply, and reduce the environmental burden of energy supply and use. The more detailed explanation for energy policy terms present by setting a set of principles, goals, and strategies that guide a country, region, organizations, decision makers, and take actions that related to the production, distribution, consumption of energy. So the energy policy typically addresses a variety of issues including energy security measures, environmental sustainability, economic, innovation and research, renewable energy standards, carbon pricing, energy efficiency standards, subsidies for renewable energy, ensure conservation of energy, and support and development for new energy technologies. Okay. Now, energy policy according to the standards of ISO. What's the term means? The ISO said that energy policy represents a set of guidelines, intentions, commitments with the energy performance through the direction of energy management activities and the framework of energy management for using energy objectives and targets in order to achieve the energy performance improvement. This issue is very important. It must be documented and communicated to all personnel across all levels of organization, including on-site contracts. That's mean all the involved personnel must know what's their energy policy in their organization in order to do, plan, and act and monitor for what they want to improve. So the energy policy must state the top management's commitment. The commitment of organization very, very important in order to achieve continual improvement of energy performance and ensuring that all the technical informations and financial and such as financial and human resources that need to meet the energy objectives and targets. It means that while we are planning for improving our energy management system, we need resources. These sources represent funds, humans, in order to implement our framework of energy management system. Also, the compliance with the applicable legal requirement at the country level and at the organization level, also including the purchasing of energy efficient products, equipment, and services. So the energy performance improvement in design activities, every activity that will be designed in the future must include it in the energy policy. So, and now let us explain this example of the company, ABC company. Of course, this distributor from Georgia Technology Research Corporation in the USA Department of Energy. This company producing glasses and want to put its energy policy. So they discuss the following targets and goals in order to reduce energy use per unit of production by 25% in 10 years in their manufacturing processes, and they also want to ensure continual improvement in their energy performance and deploy information and resources in order to achieve their objectives and targets, and uphold legal and other requirements regarding energy, whatever. And also they are put in their consideration energy performance improvement in design and modification of their facilities, their equipment, their system, and their processes, and including, of course, operation and maintenance. And their targets in order to get effectively procure and utilize energy efficient products and services. This is very important issue that energy management system, while we are implementing it in a specified facility, while we are reducing energy consumption and save energy and reduce the total cost, we must don't affect the final product and the final quality of production of a specified facility. So the quality of product must maintain while we are reducing the energy and improving the energy performance in our facility. This is what I want what I was planned in this lecture, and finally this is the final of the second lecture. Of course, these are the references that I remarked from the content of my lectures. Thank you for your listening. I hope we can meet again in the third lecture, as I say.